Hello everyone and welcome to this pick a card reading video. In this video we will be looking at if you can or if you should trust this person. It doesn't have to be romantic in nature, it can be familial, relating to friends, relating to career or co-workers. It can be about anybody, like your neighbor. Did I already say that? I don't know. Anyway, it can be about anybody. It could even be about like a group of people if you feel like one person wouldn't make sense, but like a group of people who are all similar or yeah, just a group of people. Okay, we have 3 piles like we usually do, 1A, 2B, and 3C. If you do not feel drawn to any of these piles, that's okay. This just might not be the pick a card reading video for you, but I have plenty of other timeless pick a card reading videos on my channel, as well as collective readings. And if you feel drawn to more than one stack, like you could think about more than one person and therefore be drawn to more than one stack, you can certainly listen to more than one if you feel like doing so. And as a reminder, everything I talk about and discuss in this video is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Alright, let's get into it. Hello 1A and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. So your first card here, the signifier card, is the 2 of Pentacles upright. And when I flipped this over, because I had not actually looked at the cards yet prior to putting them down, like the other side. And it feels like, as soon as I turn this over, I was hearing it's a big misunderstanding. So whatever it is that, like if there's been a riff or something between you and this person, then I feel like, oh, I'm getting multiple messages. Then I feel like give one another some grace, but also, oh, what was I just thinking? Big misunderstanding. Oh, also this person could be a bit awkward or not the best socially. Either way, it feels like they've been sending you mixed signals almost, or signals that they wouldn't be like a good I think for a lot of you this relates to a friend. But I feel like maybe they haven't put their best foot forward, or this is just how they are. So either you are misreading them or the way that they are is just a little bit off. And so that's why if you communicate differently, if you express yourselves differently, then I think it's a misunderstanding in that this person doesn't mean any ill intention. They don't mean harm. It's just that you two are different. And so that means you can interpret how they are differently than how you would interpret somebody who's more similar to you. And this person, like I'm hearing, they're harmless. Like they don't mean to, like I'm hearing if there's like you're worried about them being a liar, but I just think they're awkward maybe when they say certain things or when they are truthful, and the way they communicate that is a bit off, a bit weird, a bit different. And so I think part of the issue here is just how you've received them. I think if you already have walls up about this person, or if you just find them to be much more different than you, that's why immediately your alarm bells go off. But I'm getting a sense that you shouldn't have to worry about them. And with the 2 of Pentacles, it is all about balance. And so with this, I just think you need to communicate with them that, hey, I want to trust you with something, or I want to trust you in general, but you're a bit different than me, so I can't tell sometimes if you're like lying to me, or you know what it reminds me of too? People have different senses of humor, so somebody could joke about something but also be serious, like they're being truthful, but you can't tell if they're joking or if they're actually saying something that's real and they're just like trying to laugh it off, or if they're pained by something and they bring it up, like something that is annoying that they find about you, but then they also joke about it, and so then maybe you don't know how to take that. So I think this is a time to just communicate with this person, like, hey, we're a bit different in some respects. I want to know how you actually feel, what you're actually thinking, and I see this being a good friendship. It might not be the bestest of friends, I mean, maybe, who knows, but I get the sense that because of the differences, it might be hard, but I still get the sense that you can trust this person. So if you're willing to come to like a middle ground, you can find ways to cater to that person and them cater to you. Like, for example, we all have different kinds of friends who serve different kinds of purposes in our lives, and it feels like and also with that means that we can be, sorry, one second. Excuse me. We can sometimes be a little bit different, like different versions of ourselves depending on who we are around. If we're around a certain friend group or a certain friend, we can be a little bit different. Does that make sense? Like, not a different person, but showing different aspects or parts of yourself. Around some people, maybe you're more introverted. Around other people, maybe you're more extroverted. Around some people, maybe you're more, you talk more about emotional stuff. Other people, maybe like political stuff. So it seems like something that will be helpful for you to decide what you can do with this friendship moving forward is deciding how you can categorize this person. Are they somebody who, in terms of trusting, can you have difficult conversations with them, or do you think that they won't take you seriously? And if you want to be able to open up that part of the friendship, then again, that's where the communication needs to come in, where you are like, this is how I've been feeling, or when I bring certain stuff up, you react in a certain kind of way. I want to know what I can do moving forward, or if you are able to allow me to be like vulnerable around you or talk about certain things around you. I want to know that you actually aren't trying to be mean, or that you aren't. And I feel like this person is almost a little bit, not fully, but kind of clueless to how you're feeling. Like, maybe they get some weird vibes from you, but they don't know how to decipher it or work through it themselves. So I think you bringing this up will actually be very helpful for them as well. And I think it could be eye-opening for their other relationships in their life, where they'll be more conscious of their word choices and how they express their words. I don't get the sense that you want to change this person, but yeah, sometimes, there's things people do where we can ask for better communication from them, or we can ask for better signs. People can still be ultimately who they are, but so it's not like you're changing this person, you're just asking for like, I guess, a change. But I see it being not this major life-altering change, but I see it being something that helps them out. You pointing this out for them. Don't be mean. Be kind. Be like neutral. Be like, hey, this is just how it is. So just moving forward, I want to know what I can do in this friendship. And if you, and like also asking the other person if they need comfort and safety in you, because maybe the reason they act a certain way is because they don't feel fully safe. So actually opening up this door of vulnerability could help them as well. So that's what I'm getting for you all, for if you should trust this person. I am getting the sense that you should. Let's see how this should fit in frame. Is that good enough? I think so. Now, I was going to pull other tarot cards. Maybe I won't, though. So should you trust this person? I feel like pulling 2 cards from here. The Cosmic Oracle Tarot deck. Can this person be trusted? Yeah, I think they're not aloof. They have walls up, I think, for good reasons. They don't have negative intentions. I think a lot of you already know that. Look at that. Communicate. What was I just saying? A lot of this stems down to communication. So compromise, forgive, work it out. Again, if there's something where you are in an awkward place with this person nowadays because of a situation that happened, now's a good time for you to maybe always feel like you have to be the one to say something, but I feel like this will be a good thing to communicate. Anything that's happened in the past that maybe has given you the ick a little bit, or like slightly annoyed you, moderately annoyed you, I think bringing it up will be important, because this person doesn't fully understand the impact of some of the wording. And that's the thing too, it's maybe not even the words themselves, it's like how they word it. Or it's not like the message that they give back to you, it's the way they word things. Another card. Can this person be trusted? This one. Yeah. Honeymoon. Honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. So this could just be an insinuation that you are going to their wedding, I guess. You could be also just attending some event with them. So maybe you don't want for it to be awkward. So this is a good sign that you can clear the air before, even if it's something like a group hang with friends, like clearing the air before that event could be helpful so that it's not awkward for you and them and everybody else there. Meeting up with them beforehand would be good. Also, I feel like honeymoon relates to them as a person, where maybe they kind of, I get the sense that maybe they just don't take themselves very seriously, is the way this comes across. That doesn't have to be the case for all of you, but if it feels like, I mean, of course, it could be the complete opposite of that, where maybe you are like that and they take everything very seriously. But it feels like for a lot of you, there's somebody who just doesn't take life very seriously, so that's why they don't understand the impact as much. They're probably younger as well. Maybe you yourself are also younger, but the energy I get from them is more youthful, and I feel like they still have a lot left to learn in life, so I don't think they're a bad egg at all. I just think, you know, good to communicate with them how you're feeling. And then let's pull one final card that talks about if you should still have this person, or if you can still trust this person, or if you can, not still, but if you can in general. This doesn't have to end up being a yes or no. There's not many yes or no cards in here, so we'll just see what ends up coming out. Forgiveness. Beautiful. Look at that. Forgiveness. Yeah, and look at forgive is right there as well. Oh my god, my cat is in the litter box. But we are going to keep it going because we're almost done. But yeah, it says forgiveness. So really what this is saying is that if there's anything that's happened in the past, you should forgive one another. You forgive them, they forgive you, or both of you forgive each other, because it really does just feel like a misunderstanding. And this feels like, yes, you can trust them. It's just sometimes you will butt heads or not see eye to eye because you are such different personalities. So forgiveness is at play here. Communicate and know what to do moving forward. Establish a plan of like what you can do moving forward to even strengthen the friendship, or at least keep it the way it is, but slightly better because of that communication that comes in here and like post forgiveness. But yeah, this feels good. This feels actually quite nice. I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 1A, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video, you can subscribe, you can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can check out my other Timeless Pick-a-Card reading videos, as well as my Timeless Collective reading videos on my channel, and you can check out my ASMR channels. They'll be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, 1A, and take care. Bye-bye. Hello, 2B, and welcome to your part of the Pick-a-Card reading video. Here we have the Page of Cups in reverse, and we have a young girl here. And when I flipped this over just before starting this, I was getting the word insecurity, where it feels like, I wonder if you're insecure because, this might sound specific, but I feel like this person involved, or this group of people involved, I feel like it's mainly one person, potentially two, but I feel like this person involved has something that you don't, and so because of that you feel a little bit, I don't even know if I want to say less than, but there's a little bit of jealousy is the best way I can describe it. You're jealous about something this person has, whether that's a tangible physical thing, whether that's something relating to a relationship, whether it's that person, their past partners. If this is romantically related, then you feel like you don't look like that person's past partners. Or even for some of you, like if this relates to a romantic relationship, you may feel less experienced, and so that's something that makes you insecure. That's the main thing here. Is something is tied up with insecurity. I don't think that this, I mean, of course, for those of you who chose this, if you feel like this is actually the other person, take with that what you will. I'm getting the sense that this could be something like a projection from you, but take what resonates. If it resonates the other way around, then that is obviously the message that's meant for you here. Sorry, I was moving this around. Now I gotta put it back closer to where it was. Okay. But I don't get this sense that anybody here is like a bad person. I just feel like, I guess you could say ego's involved, but I just feel like there's some insecurities potentially tied to immaturity. So if you are young or younger, you don't have to be, but because of the insecurity, it reminds me it could be related to immaturity. But I feel like Spirit is steering me away from that because they want me to just focus on, I just keep seeing insecurity. I feel like I did not pull another card for the other stack, but they want for me to grab another card here for clarification purposes. The Empress. Yeah, so I wonder if you feel not very this might sound weird, especially if it's not romantically related, but you might not feel pretty enough compared to them. Like, even if you're a friend, it's like you always hear about, oh, in the friend group there's the one ugly friend, you know, or like, oh, you hear about like on guy podcasts, like, yeah, bro, you're gonna take one, like, remember the time you took one for the team? Or like Jersey Shore, it's like you took one for the team and you made out with the girl that was less hot so that I could make out with the hot friend. It's very much that. I think you could be insecure about your looks, and just like if you're pretty enough, if you're handsome enough, it feels like compared to this other person, you just feel not on their level. You feel like you're just not worthy of this connection. Romantically, friendship-wise, whatever. Even it reminds me of my twin sister and I growing up. She was always called the pretty twin and I was always called the smart twin. So it could be something like that where you already are compared to this person from other people, or just you compare yourself to them. Where you think of this person as having maybe even a better life than you. So yeah, there's mainly insecurity and jealousy tied in here. So a lot of so a main message that's coming through for you that you can work on is that, for some reason I'm focusing on the bunny, fertility. So for some of you, maybe if you want to get pregnant one day, or if you're trying right now, maybe you're insecure because you're friends with somebody who is pregnant or who is able to conceive. Like, let's say you were to have PCOS, but your friend doesn't have any difficulties with getting pregnant, or that you know of. So that could be involved, well, anything tied to femininity, and also even motherhood or being able to become pregnant. I know that's more specific, but that is coming through here. There is more of a feminine energy coming through here. That doesn't mean it has to be. But it feels like you haven't fully expressed this to the other person. And I know that that can be awkward because it's like, what are you even supposed to say? But this could be something where if you're close enough to them or you want to be, bring it up. Like, hey, I feel like I'm jealous of you because of these things. And I don't want to hold resentment toward you for it. I think once you speak it out into the universe or to them, even, it will be easier to look past it and realize that it's something that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, the friendship or the connection you have with this person is what matters most. And then once you talk it out, or once you like talk to your therapist, like, when I see you talking out loud about this, once you do that, I see it being something where it's not this scary thing that you keep trying to push away. It's something that you've confronted, and then you'll be able to move on from it. Let's get some additional cards here. For if you can, so can you trust this person? I think you can, but I think it's about trusting yourself first. Trusting that you yourself are enough as a human being, and so you don't need to compare yourself to other people. So yeah, I think you can trust this person. It's just about changing your mindset around yourself, and then you'll realize that you shouldn't worry about this connection with this person. Can they trust this person? Can you trust this person? If you're trying to think of certain question right now, or if you're like, how do I want to say, if you're focusing really hard on the answer, if you're like Spirit saying that's part of the problem, like don't focus. I don't want to explain this. Don't try to make it seem like the situation is worse than it is. Like it's like you're self-sabotaging. Manifest. Tell the universe exactly what you want. And with this, I think a big message coming through is like what I was saying, speaking it out into the universe. Like speaking it out loud is what I'm hearing. Also with this, I'm seeing and hearing like you have the power to make this relationship whatever you want it to be. Of course, the other person involved has a say as well. But Spirit is saying things don't have to be this way. You have the power to make the relationship better, or to make it more, or to make it so you don't hold judgment or resentment toward this person. Oh my god, that is crazy. So yeah, the specific message about pregnancy that is showing up, that is bonkers. That just further clarifies that for some of you this relates to pregnancy or to motherhood in some way, or else maybe you even resent this person if they have kids and you feel like you don't spend as much time with them anymore, or they have a family of their own and they can't spend as much time with you, or like the other way around where you maybe have kids and you're jealous because they are child free. Like it could involve anything with that as well, but pregnancy is showing up here. That's crazy. I was like, it's weird that it's right over the Empress card, which is the pregnancy card. Okay, what we are going to do now, let's put this one. How far up can I place you? How far up? Sure. Let's see. Can you trust this person? I don't even know if I've ever pulled a pregnancy card. I probably have, but it's been a while. Can you trust this person? Forgiveness. And you know what's crazy? This card actually got pulled for pile 1A as well. So this is saying forgiveness. Like forgive yourself for the ways in which you feel insecure. Forgive them if they've made you feel a certain way. I get the sense that if you were to talk this out, I talked about communication with pile 1A, but for you all, I think specifically if you talk about this insecurity that you have or this resentment you have, especially if it involves pregnancy or like family of your own type of stuff. But anyway, or yeah, just anything this person has that you don't, anything that you are jealous of them of. I think speaking about that with them and being like, hey, sometimes when you talk about this thing, it's not that I don't want for you to talk about. Sorry, I didn't realize that wasn't in frame. You can be like, either you can have boundaries and say, hey, I don't want to talk about this, or like, let's be minimal with the talking we do around this subject. Or, so yeah, having boundaries there, or else you can be like, hey, when you bring this topic up, it makes me feel a certain type of way, so I just want you to know that I don't hate you, it's just I have my own stuff that I'm dealing with, and sometimes it may come across wrong, and I understand that it's not, like, you're not a bad person for having this thing that I don't have, but sometimes it triggers me, you know, things like that. So forgive yourself, and then if there's any forgiveness that needs to be had between you and the other person, then that conversation can also be had. But yeah, definitely I think you can trust this person. Okay, I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 2B, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. if you like the video, you can like the video. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel. You can check out my other timeless pick a card reading videos or my timeless collective reading videos. I have 2 different ASMR channels you can check out in the video description down below if you feel called to do so. Thank you again, Tubi, and take care. Bye-bye. Hello, 3C, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. For you all, here for the signifier card, we have Queen of Cups in reverse. So should you trust this person? Unfortunately, this stack, no, I don't think you can. I was hearing a song by Maggie Lindemann, and in the beginning, oh, what song is that? Not Break Me. Is it? Oh, maybe it is. I don't remember. Sorry, I got distracted there. But it seems like, oh, what I was trying to say is in the beginning of that song that I'm thinking of, it goes like manipulation, nightmare losing, or something like that. But it starts with manipulation. So I was hearing manipulation. This person, either themselves are a manipulator, or because of who this person is or how they are, like their personality or how they act around you, it definitely, some of you aren't gonna, again, this is only for some of you. This is either somebody who is a manipulator or the person they are around you, you are kind of manipulative toward them. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it could be like, you know what it reminds me of in relationships when people have like an anxious attachment style, and if people, like something I used to, something I used to do is like in relationships, romantic relationships, even friendships though, if somebody like is that like, sorry, there's so many things coming through right now, so many visuals I'm getting. Let's say, for example, the other person's like, hey, do you want to do this thing? And you're like, we can do whatever you want. Or if they're like, hey, what do you want to do? And you're like, we can do whatever you want. But secretly, you're like, I hope that they want to do this, or that they ask me if we can do this. And they're like, oh, okay. And so then they just like go off and do their own thing. But in your mind, you were like, oh, I wish we could have done something together. So then you kind of hold resentment about that and you get upset. Or if somebody says something to you and then you feel bad about it, but you don't feel like fessing up or owning it, so then you kind of lie and you're like, well, no, I didn't do that, or no, that's not what I meant by that. You know what I'm saying? And for some of you that resonates. For others of you, that could be the other person, or it could just be other ways that the person manipulates your emotions specifically. And I'm also hearing molding. It's like you molding them or them molding you into this idealized version. Like them doing that to you, molding you into this person they want for you to be. So then that's why they get upset when you quote unquote act out of line, because you're acting in a way that is different from what they expect of you or that they wish of you, so that it fits into their fantasy perfect land. Out of everybody, I think this stack definitely more so relates to romantic relationships, but it doesn't have to be. If you haven't listened to the other stacks yet, I will say this is the only stack where I am saying that you can't trust this person. And for some of you, that is because of you not being able to trust yourself because of who you are around them. But also it could be that you can't trust this person because of how they are around you. It just feels like a very toxic relationship. It feels like people walk on tiptoes around each other, you and the other person, but it also feels like the fights you get into are very, like I'm hearing manipulative, or they're very, like when you get into arguments or disagreements with this person, nothing gets solved. You both just end up not trusting each other more. So I think because it's like I'm hearing you're in too deep. There's so many layers you'd have to peel back to get to like a ground zero and like rebuild. So that's the best case scenario, is that you start from scratch, you completely forget about everything that's happened in the past between you and the other person, and then it's not even that you rebuild, you just build from ground zero, which I guess is rebuilding, but I get for most of you that wouldn't be helpful. I think it would be healthier for you to not be around this person much anymore if you can help it, and then like minimal contact if you do have to be around each other. It reminds me of people who have to work on project together in college, but they don't get along, but you have to do it for the class. Or you have another teacher, one of your classes, but you need it in order to graduate, and you don't appreciate it, but you have to like do the bare minimum, but you still have to be around this person. So for those of you who have to be around this person, I'm hearing that you'll be able to like suck it up. You'll be able to stay strong, just do minimal contact. And like, don't overdo it. Don't try to force into something it's not. But that's also a messaging for if it's not any of those kinds of situations where Spirit is saying don't force it. It feels like this isn't healthy and it would be good to just let this go. And now I'm hearing that Megan Lindemann song, If You Love Me, the same song, if you love me, then you let me go. If you love me, then you let it show. Something like that. Yeah, it feels like, I feel like are you truly happy around this person? Because I think Spirit is saying you want to be. Again, it's that projection of an idealization of what you want this connection to be versus what it actually is. So Spirit is saying you can't force it any longer. Don't try to make it something that it's not. Okay, one second. I gotta pause and clear my throat. Okay, you couldn't even tell, but I did pause it. Okay. Can you trust this person? Let's see, maybe this provides different insights. This is from the Cosmic Oracle Tarot. This is what it looks like on the outside. Every time I do videos, I always post in the video description what tarot and oracle decks I use. So if you're ever curious, they're right there. I don't gatekeep it. Something. Vacation. You will be traveling soon. Interesting. I think the vacation is more so like a break from this person. So I think that's good advice. Where if you maybe still have love and care for this person, or you want to make whatever this connection is work, I think Spirit is saying that it would be good for you to take a break from them. It could be you physically like going somewhere, but this is saying you need space from this person to feel how it is without them being around. How do you feel? Do you feel better when they're not around? Do you feel sad when they're not around? You wish you were with them? And if you feel sad, is it because you miss that like push and pull, or is it because you really care about this person and you want them still in your life? So taking a break will be important, and that will help you understand if you can ultimately trust them, which is the point of this video. Honeymoon. Yeah, this card was also pulled for Stack 2B. And I feel like what this is saying specifically is that the idealized version of the other person you have in your mind, or that they have in mind for you, it's starting to fade. So that's why they're trying to project maybe how they used to view you onto the present you. And that it could also be because you both have changed, right? It's good to change as humans, to evolve and grow and change and to be the most authentic versions of ourselves. So it's good to not be stagnant. So that could be why. It's like you or the other person has changed. So like if you've changed, then the other person involved is like, why can't you be like how you used to be? And you're like, well, I'm not that person anymore. I still have qualities that are still with me, but I'm not all qualities. I'm no longer like this. I no longer do that, right? So it feels like maybe somebody could be stuck, if not both of you, with thinking about how the person used to be, also how this connection used to be. So with this, I feel like honeymoon phase is over, but either of you are still projecting on each other the dynamic from before, and also the qualities you used to have before. And that's the thing too, when you first meet people in whatever kind of setting, people a lot of times aren't fully 100% authentically themselves. Once you get to know them, as time passes, you get to see more of that person. So it could be like, for example, you get into a committed relationship with somebody, but then you realize after a few months of being official that there's things about them that are different or that have changed. maybe it's not that it's changed from who they actually are, but it's changed from how they have presented themselves to you. Like, it reminds me of people who move in together, and before, maybe whenever your partner visited your house, they were good at keeping clean, or if you asked them to, they would clean up after themselves. But then you move in together, and it's like, it's nice at first, but then as that honeymoon phase of living together fades away, people start revealing their true selves. And so then in that example, that person maybe is actually a really big slob, but maybe you didn't get to see it before, and maybe they kind of lied about that because they didn't want to get you mad, and they didn't want for that to be a deal breaker because they maybe know that's a deal breaker for you. So it's things like that. Those kinds of examples are what is showing up here. So I don't think... But yeah, there's like, in that kind of example, it's like the person manipulated you into thinking before moving in together and when you were dating, like, oh yeah, I'm a very clean person, but now truth is revealed. So that's a big thing here, is like truths have been revealed, so now it's hard to decide what to do with that information, and that could be the case for them with you, or both. I feel like for many of you, it could be like a both person situation. So I think you bring the worst out of each other, whether it's romantic, whether it's friendship, and I just see... Again, you being too deep in the trenches for things to like get better or improve. It would have to take a lot, but Spirit can they trust this person a year from now? I'm not surprised. I actually thought we were gonna get a date time for this, so it might be confusing. Let me think if I can pull a different one. Is there a different one that also wants to be pulled? Can you trust this person? Choose a new direction. Yeah. So I think what Spirit is saying is this is a connection you should probably just leave behind. And then with a year from now... Let me see what I'm picking up on with that. The break could be a year, and then you get back together, or like see if you can rekindle things. But I feel like also just saying a year from now, you'll be an even different person. You'll have better perspective about the connection, and so will the other person. So then I think Spirit is saying the break could be like a year-long break, and then you can try, if you really want to, you can try to see if you should be friends again or if you should date again. But ultimately, I think even once that year is up, if you were to reconnect with that person, you'll realize that it's best if you kind of just let the past be the past and you go on a new direction and you make other more meaningful connections that are more healthy for you. And the same goes for the other person as well. I will leave it at that. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, so yeah, probably can't trust this person. But I see you both growing over time, and if you really want to, you can decide after a long break. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. You can like the video, you can subscribe, you can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can check out my timeless pick a card reading videos, as well as collective reading videos, and you can check out my ASMR channels. I have 2 of them, and they will be linked down below in the video description. All right, thank you so much again, 3C. Take care. Bye-bye.